Do you know Tony Danza's story?
I-
This shit is amazing. He was a professional boxer. You can actually go on YouTube and type in Tough Tony Danza. That was his name, Tough Tony Danza. And he knocks. So a talent agent came to see him, and he, the talent agent was like, I'm looking for like a tough guy to send out on tough guy roles. And the talent agent came to that thing, and he knocked the guy in the first minute of the fight. He knocked the guy out of the ring. And the talent agent came to his dressing room and was like, dude, I need to sign you. That was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And then he got him an audition for the movie The Warriors. Jay, I know you love that movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, Walter Hill.
And so Tony Danza goes into audition for the part of Cochise. Now, Cochise is a guy who dies somewhere like halfway through the movie. He wears like a cowboy hat. And the casting director, he's auditioning for the role, the casting directors, and there are all these actors in there and everything. And after the audition, he's like, you want to really see how tough I am. And he unrolls a boxing poster. He's like, I'm fighting tonight at the Garden. Come on by. And so the casting directors for the Warriors come down, and Tony Danza's in this fight, and he gets knocked down 3 times. And each time, and he's telling me, he's like, and Steve, you got to understand, when you're knocked down, when you're boxing, you get knocked down, like, hit on the chin, that the canvas is like concrete. It's like quicksand. Like your body doesn't want to get up. And he's like, something kept telling me, just get up, get up, get up. He's like, I got up that 3rd time. And basically the story is, in the final round, after getting his ass kicked, he knocked this dude out. And was like, they were like holding him up and raising his hand and everything like that. And he was back in the locker room, and the casting directors for the Warriors came back, and they were like, that's the best audition we've ever seen. You got the part. And they gave him the part in the Warriors right there. And they flew him out to Los Angeles. And when he flying out to Los Angeles, and he was in like the waiting room to go and meet with these people, and a receptionist came down. She's like, you're Tony Danza, right? And he's like, yeah. She's like, you're the fighter. You're here for the meeting with the Warriors. And she said, James Brooks wants to meet with you. And so right now. And so Tony Danza, he's waiting to go into the Warriors to meet with the producers and the director. And instead he goes to this meeting with James L. Brooks, and they're reading for Taxi. And the part of the boxer is for like a big, like white heavyweight Jerry Cooney type. And so they give the script to Tony Danza, and they're like, just read this for us. And he reads the role, and right there in the room, they're like, you got the part in this pilot for Taxi. And wow. And they're like, we're shooting here. And so now he's just gotten this part, and his agent is like, okay, here's the problem. It's good. The pilot's going to shoot at the same time as the Warriors. And Tony Danza's like, I want to do the TV show. And Joel Schumacher, I guess, who was like, had something to do like producing the Warriors, calls him up. He's like, are you fucking crazy? Are you fucking crazy? You're going to do a TV show instead of a movie? We've given you this part. You'll never work in this town. That's the worst decision you'll ever make. And he's like, I'm sorry. I appreciate everything you did, but I want to be in a TV show. It feels a bit like a better fit. And so he chose Taxi over the Warriors.
Wow.
And so that's why there's another guy in the part of Cochise, but then Tony Danza, Taxi became the #1 show, and Tony Danza became a star.
Christopher Lloyd, Danny DeVito, Tony Danza. The cast was stacked.
Yeah.
It was stacked, and back then it was CBS, NBC, and ABC. And then his stories about like, he's like, I'm on Battle of the Network Stars, and like he this guy has stories. He told a great story about, because he was in Cannonball Run. And Frank Sinatra's in Cannonball Run. And he said his parents like were so upset that he gave up boxing and became an actor. And even on Taxi, he was famous. And his mom was like, you'll be famous is the day that you introduced me to Frank Sinatra. And so Tony Danza and his son went to see Frank Sinatra perform. And then he said Sinatra showed up for his day of shooting in a helicopter and landed. And Tony Danza's son was with him. Sinatra was taking photos with all these people, and finally Tony brought up his son, and his son was like, "Hey, we saw you do a show, and you know it was great. It's like you were giving everybody a hard time. You're the band, you're teasing people and singing songs, but like you were awesome." And Sinatra was like, "Come here and get a picture with me, kid." And he's like, "What do you guys are great. What do you guys want to do?" And Tony Danza was like, "You know, my mom really wants to meet you." And he's like, "You got it." And he sent the whole family backstage passes to a concert and brought Tony Danza's mom and Tony Danza, and they all met. And Tony Danza's mom was like, and so that's how she decided that her son was a star.